We are the third team, and we're going to talk about the impact of industry in the air, water, and soil. The members of the team are Pamela, Adolfo, Diana, and I, Antonio.
Good afternoon, everyone. We talk about pollution that from the beginning of the revolution industry until today. The pollution isn't a new problem. In the book of environmental and control engineering, the pollution could be discovered in the kingdom of Eversecond when for the Eleanor of Aquitaine, I think, she discovered that exists now that is present smoke in the parliament when he has I don't know, when the parliament is in session, I'm sorry. And she provided preventing the burns of coal in the parliament when it's in session. And his successors, the Henry V, do the same because they see that that smoke was really consistent and had a bad flavor in the smell.
In the smelling?
Yeah, the smell.
The water pollution, according to the Environmental Pollution and Control Book, third edition, wrote by Arnie P., Jeffrey J., and Werner R., the fact that pathogenic organisms can be transmitted by polluted water wasn't recognized until the middle 19th century.
The termination of bacteria has been eradicated by the development of civics because they treat water and other metals, and because they release health effects with polluted water.
Now we talk about the air pollution. First, we talk about the atmosphere. The atmosphere is composed by 78% of oxygen, 78% of nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% of argon and other gases. But we have the presence of primary gases and secondary gases that are the contaminant, the main contaminants in the atmosphere. And who is created the CO2 by the industry? First is for the power plants. This is figures of the International Energy Agency that show the increase in the last 3 decades. It's for the 29 to 42% in the increase of the CO2 emissions for the energy industry in the source of the burning coal in the thermoelectric plants. Then we have the emissions in the world that are increased in the last 3 decades for 2013, increased at 18% to 35%. This is too dangerous for the people because the CO2 could be created thermal inversion, and it's because the contaminants can exhaust or escape for the other layers of the atmosphere for go to the space. Or the nature can be clean that air. And next, we have the other kind of problems. This is the acid rain pathway. This is a diagram that how it happens. The acid deposition is the mix of the primary and secondary gases. But first of all, we need to know what is the primary gases are only the CO2, the ozone, the vapor water, the methane, the NO2, but the secondary gases are different because you have acid gases, or you have acid emissions, like HNO3 and the H2SO4. And when it mixed, or they put together in the air, they create the acid deposition that could be in fogs, in rains,
Do you mean acid? Do you mean acid?
acid.
Acid, yes.
Acid? You don't say acid, it's
Oh,
acid.
acid,
Yeah,
okay.
the acid rain.
Acid rain. And then this is a comparison this is other topic. The comparison in Mexico with France about the CO2 emissions. And we know Mexico are increased in the CO2 emissions, and France are decreased their numbers. And why we have that is because for the electricity production, it's about the electricity production. Mexico use the 58% of electricity production by the burning coal in the thermal electrical plants. That's I don't know what to say, but it's really bad because Mexico is the first in Latin American countries that have CO2 emissions in the highest way. But France, they invest for the nuclear power production of electricity. It's really clean because if you have a really good control of your nuclear fuels or nuclear wastes, you can have a really clean energy without putting the air contaminant like the CO2 that is responsible with the 50 to the 60% in the climate changes. The production energy. This is a comparison. France decreased the percent of energy that produced by coal, by the thermoelectrical with coal, and the other is the nuclear power reactions to produce electricity. France are decreased in the last 3 decades. Mexico is only the 5% of the electricity produced by nuclear in Veracruz. We'll go for the water.
Well, we're going to talk about water pollution. The principal factors of water pollution are industries, the municipalities, and the stormwater. The industries contaminate the water by using chemicals which react with the water, and this is very bad for the seas or the oceans. Then we have the sewerage system in the municipalities, which is very poorly because they combined the two types of water that goes from homes to the rivers or lakes. And according with National Geographic, a solution for the municipality system is the green roofs, which is a system that goes over the roofs of houses, and these recollect all the water which can be used for other things in your house, like for the garden or for the sanitaries. Well, the sewage and the fertilizers, when they are combined by the rain water, they both go to the seas, and these make this cause a massive increase in the growth of algae or plankton that is known as a harmful algal bloom, and this is very bad because cause the decrease of oxygen in the seas, and this is bad for other creatures.
I have a tiny question.
Yes?
While you were explaining the sewage plants that we have locally, you said that they were inefficient. Did you say that?
Yes, the sewer system.
The sewage system.
Sewage system.
Personally, I do not think it's inefficient. I think it's efficient, but I still feel like we clean the water, but we don't make a good use of it, you know? And we don't make a good use of collecting the sewage water for second use. I think that the sewage plants are amazing. The only problem is that we need
Approach that water.
an additional effort. Not only the fact that we use sewage plants
Okay.
to sanitize water, because there are two processes, sanitation and purification. We don't jump to the purification. We cannot drink water. That water is undrinkable. But I personally think that yes, we are doing something. We are doing something. But it's just very expensive and it pollutes because it uses electricity.
Well,
Yes.
it's inefficiently because they combine
inefficient?
inefficient because they combine the two types of water, the ones that have chemicals and the other ones that have
It's clean.
solid compounds like the excrement of animals or the human excrement. And when they are combined, it's very difficult to separate those chemicals from the solid ones. And well, we went to a sewage plant here in Saltillo, and they told us that it was very difficult because it passed through a large process. However, it's not too late, but it's very difficult to separate those chemicals. And then in the process, they use another chemicals. Then when they get combined to the solid ones and to the other chemicals, makes more reactions, and the water doesn't get well.
Another toxic pollution comes from heavy metals like lens, mercury, and cadmium. Lens was only once commonly used in gasoline, so its use is now restriction in some countries, and both mercury and cadmium are still used in batteries, and high enough concentration or quantity or radioactive pollution can kill. In a lower concentration can cause cancer and another illness. In a biggest source of radioactive pollution in Europe are two factories that reproduce waste fuel in neutral power plants, and these two factories are Selfine in the northwest of Brittany, and another is Conley-Henge in the north coast of France. Over 12% of the oil that enters in the oceans come from tanker accidents. Over 17% the oil pollutions come from routine shipping and oil people pour down drain on land. While plastic are not toxic in the same way that chemicals, over 18% of animals of birds that living in the seas and oceans were found to contain plastic in their stomachs. When the temperature raises, the oxygen in the water is reduced because they don't dissolve in the water, and this causes reduce the quantity of light.
And well, when we talk about the water pollution, not only industries contaminate the water, ordinary people contaminate it too, because we use chemicals in our houses for the washing machines. We use detergents, we use shampoos, soaps, and this contaminates the water too, so it affects more the water pollution.
And plus medication, you know, like women take daily medication, men take daily medication. They go to the toilet and the water goes through the drainage, and most of the medication you don't digest it, you don't fix it, you don't use it. It is not metabolized. It goes through the sewage water. And imagine places like New York or San Francisco, not, which is saturated, oversaturated of chemicals, like very toxic. They go into the soil and then there's hormones around. And plus the heavy metals you were talking about, Diana. You know, like Diana, what is the consequence of heavy metals in the body? Did you read a little bit of that?
Yes, can kill or can cause cancer or another.
Yeah, mostly, right? A good example is, well, all the examples, but I mean, those are carcinogenic.
The mercury.
What, exactly. Any idea why they are carcinogenic?
Cancer?
Heavy metals? Why?
Why?
Why? What is the reason?
Because our body cannot be healthy.
Yeah.
Exactly. We don't fix them. We don't use them, so we get oversaturated. Yes, we need. Yes, we need. But the concentration is so trained, so very minute and small, that when we get oversaturated,
Excuse me, teacher.
okay, please go ahead.
And
Next time you go up. Next time you go up. Edgar, go out. Go out, please. Go out.
Well, another information is that each year the world generates perhaps 5 to 10 billions tons of industrial waste.
And the next are the soil pollution. The people think that the soil pollution is not a big problem, but it is because the man-made elements that cause the soil pollution. The effects are the industry. The industry gives to us as a satisfactory product, but these have a short life. Is the reason that the consumers continue to buy. When this product not has life, you throw it in the street, and in the lake, in the garbage, but they have chemicals or dangerous solution. For example, a battery. You throw it in the water, you contaminate the water, or if you throw it in the, I don't know, some land, you have too many contamination in the soil. The next one are the waste disposal. The waste disposal is made of improper disposal and concentrate the salt and liquid. So many companies throw it in they made a well and put the liquid on the soil. Or some companies do a bottle, a big bottle, and sales and throw up in the sea, and they have a contaminate. And the Dutchmen have a big land, and they put all types of garbage. In 2006, in the year, 34.6 million tons of garbage they are. The second ones are agriculture. The technology now have the modern technology made pesticides and fertilizers, and the plant absorbs all these pesticides, and when the plant decomposes,
sequence state in the land. And the effects of this are the health of the human and animals. It's like in a process. If one animal eat the plant and you kill the animal and you eat the animal, you get sick for this decontamination in the land. And
In conclusion, about the air, the biggest problem is the CO2. But how we can stop this is not buying hybrid cars or electric cars. If we are using the coal for produce energy, we can use renewable sources like the sun, but the solar panels also contaminate. We need to achieve an answer to solve that problems in the CO2. We need to understand the plants, how they clean the air. We need to absorb that knowledge because it's important, because what kind of world we will get for our children, our I don't know, partners, whatever. We need to answer that question now, and it's our responsibility. I don't know if you want to say about something on the water.
I would like everybody to make a conclusion.
Of the water pollution, we need to be careful with all things that we do, because all things that we do is have a consequence in the future. If we use majority quantities of detergents, the water goes pollution, and it's our responsibility because it's our planet.
in the pollution, the soil pollution, one company in the United States, the name is Blasco Energy Group, and they have business with another company. They take the garbage and they take care. And this company take the garbage and put in a machine, and this made like a gas, like gas natural. This is like a new form to take care of the planet. And although some companies are using products that not affect the planet.
Well, in conclusion, we thought that three of them are going by the hand, because when you pollute the air, the water and the soil goes polluted too. So we need to take some treatments for all of those. We need to make the 3R method, which is to reduce, to recycle, and to reuse.
Yes.
So we need to change, because, for example, the water, we thought that it will be exhausted in 5 years. So we need to think in our generations, our next generations, because if not, they are not going to have anything.
The water will be like depleted, that's what you want to say?
Yes.
Depleted. Okay. Diminished, depleted. Okay.
I want to read
Yeah,
something about
yes,
the
please.
acid rain. The problem is because if the air is polluted, the acid rain, or in generally the rain, couldn't be drink. No,
drunk?
can't
Cannot be drinkable.
Yes.
for the
But-
human.
But that goes even beyond. You know, the problem is pollution through the air. You know, there's primary and secondary sources.
Yes.
So the air is transported to the climate. So not that you generate pollution here and you get polluted.
Yeah.
United States, we are in the latitude,
Mhm.
and our neighbors mostly pollute the air a lot because they are not part of the protocol of Kyoto. So therefore, the
And
air
the
is
air
going
is-
off Mexico as a secondary source of pollution. You know? So most of the air they pollute goes through Mexico. That's the reason our borders are striving with. But yes, I second that, the fact that once you pollute the air, it goes through the soil, it goes through the water, it goes through the animals, it goes through your feeding habits and everywhere. And there's no way to get rid of the trace metals. Is there any way? Did you read a little bit of how you can eliminate lead, how you can eliminate cadmium, hexavalent and chromium
In the water.
In our body or in
in
the...
either soil, water, or air?
For example, in the batteries, they contain mercury and cadmium, and now have some varieties that not use mercury and
Right.
cadmium.
But how to treat
But-
the treatment for
But just remember that when you have pollution, the answer is bacteria. They fix everything. They fix oil, they fix lead, they
Oh,
fix
yes.
mercury, and anything
also
that you need to
Yes, in the, for the water, for the sewage treatment, there is a, in the plant that is here, they use photochemical organisms that they eat all the solid material, and they produce methane gas, which is used to the electricity for the industry.
for this.
So they contaminate the less.
Yes, that's amazing. Bacteria are amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.